Hello, everybody. Hello. Happy Tuesday. I hope you are all doing well, and I'm really looking forward to talking today about I can't meditate or meditation doesn't work for me. So those are two things that I hear a lot from people. I've been meditating for a long time, for almost 30 years now, and I will hear people say that I tried it, I can't do it, or I tried it and it doesn't work for me. So I think there are three common myths that lead people to feel that they can't do it, that they're not doing it right, or that it's not working for them. So today I'm going to talk about those three myths. So if you are joining me on YouTube, welcome, nice to see you. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are interested in this content, and give the video a like, that's always very helpful, and leave comments. And then if you are watching on Facebook, just so you know that using the StreamYard technology, which lets me go simultaneously live in the Facebook group and on YouTube, I can't see your name on Facebook, which I usually can. So you could either add your name to your comments or just know I'll go back and I'll check comments later and respond more personally. And you also can click the link to give StreamYard access to your name if you want, but it is definitely not required. And if you're watching this on our replay, welcome. You can comment whether you're on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, and I go back and I do read all the comments and respond whenever I can. So Stefania is joining from Italy. Hi, thanks for joining. Perfect vision and audio. Great, that's really helpful to know. Hi, Jess, nice to see you. I see a bunch of other people signing on. You can say hello as you sign on. So I'd love this to be interactive. I'm going to first go through the myths that I feel prevent people from developing a meaningful, sustainable meditation practice. And I believe you're all on this video because you've heard how helpful meditation is. And it really is. In fact, just yesterday, I was with a group, and one of the people said that since they started meditating, they have really slowed down their reactivity and they're much more able to respond in relationship. So it has really helped them gain some pause and be way more present in their personal relationships. And you get that just by sitting in meditation. So I'm hopefully going to help you figure out how. And if you are a meditation instructor or a long-term meditator, love to hear your comments and dialogue. How did you get through the early stages of meditation? And also, how do you help other people who might believe that they can't meditate or that it doesn't work for them? So, hi from Minnesota. Hello. And all right, so I am doing today's live from a meditation cushion, and I welcome you to do that because I will do a guided meditation about halfway through today. Usually the lives last about 30 minutes. So right around 15 minutes, although I don't plan these out minutely, but right around 15 minutes, I'll probably lead us through a short guided meditation that hopefully will help those of you who are looking to launch a practice. So let me come back to the main reasons that I feel people say that they can't meditate or that it doesn't work for them. And number one, there's a myth that meditation makes you feel good. Meditation does not always make you feel good. Long-term meditation helps you feel better, but in the moment, when you're first learning meditation, it doesn't always feel good. So I think that is the first thing to understand about meditation. And if you think it's supposed to feel good, you'll feel like you're not doing it right, or that you can't do it, or it's not working for you. So let me know if you have ever thought that meditation is supposed to make you feel good, and then when you go to try it, it doesn't feel so good. So that would be the number one myth. And I see somebody from Facebook commenting that you know people who could use this. So feel free to share. The video stays live in the Facebook group, but if the person's not in my Facebook group, they can either join or it will stay on YouTube and the replays will be available for as long as I have a YouTube channel. So feel free to share it out. And again, if you joined late and you're commenting from Facebook, I can't see your name unless you put your name in the comment. So, number 1 myth, it'll make you feel good. Number 2 myth, you should be able to achieve a state of calm. So if you feel that sitting in meditation is going to make you feel calm, you might frequently feel like you are not doing it right or it's not working for you. Meditation is mindfulness, and I'm talking in particular about mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is about being with what is. And sometimes we feel calm, and sometimes we don't feel calm at all. So again, long term, I do believe mindfulness meditation helps you achieve more extended periods of calm, but still not calm forever. So again, I've been meditating, 28 years now. There are times where I sit to meditate and I don't feel calm at all, even after that long, because mindfulness meditation is about being with what is, and our emotions are ever changing. We can't achieve a constant state of bliss unless you believe in enlightenment. And if you do, and maybe there's some people who can achieve that, but otherwise, we have good moods, we have bad moods, we have excited moods, we have calm moods, we have agitated moods, we have angry moods, we have the whole range. And yet we like some and we don't like others. But mindfulness meditation is about being with what is. So let me know if any of this is resonating for you at all. And the number 3 myth, and you'll see they're all a little bit connected here. The number 3 myth is that my thoughts will slow down when I meditate. And again, what's my answer here? Over time, your thoughts will slow down. Over time, you will find space. You'll find like expanded space in your brain. But I'm talking over time. Initially, when you first sit down to meditate, if you tend to be somebody who has a lot of anxious thoughts or a lot of, racing thoughts, the first time you sit for meditating, or even maybe the first few weeks you sit to meditate, you will be shocked at how fast your mind is moving. You might be overwhelmed by the feeling of all the thoughts because we stay really busy, so we don't have to really feel what's going on in here. And when you sit and you take time and quiet, you become way more aware of what's actually happening in there, which is super useful. It's super useful. If we don't know what's happening in here, we can't change it. We can't help it. We can't evolve with it. We can't move towards a state of truer calm if we're not aware of what's happening with our thoughts. But that initial period of increased awareness can actually be painful. So again, wondering if, hi Cheryl from Florida, it's all resonating. Great. I'm glad to hear that it's resonating. It's unfortunate, but it's good. And hopefully this will help. So in particular, well, I'm going to change that. I was going to say, in particular, if you've had anxiety or if you've had trauma, you might have a lot of difficulty in sitting mindfulness meditation, but actually really any emotion that you feel is negative. People who are going through a period of grief, who don't really want to allow themselves to grieve, or might have thoughts of like, I shouldn't be grieving anymore, I should be over this, I shouldn't be feeling this, are going to be uncomfortable sitting down for mindfulness meditation, because when we slow down, when we sit, when we really observe, we really connect to what's happening in us, if we're in a period of grief, that grief will come up. So emotions come up when you meditate. Thoughts are there. And the magic of mindfulness meditation, and for those of you who've heard my talks before, this will be familiar, but the magic is the strengthening of the observer, the wise mind, the part of our brain that observes what's going on. And mindfulness meditation helps that observer be non-judgmental, aware, in the moment, accepting, and that can be transformative. So, good morning, Polly. Thanks for joining again. And Stefania is saying it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's go through the basics of mindfulness meditation. And again, if you are a teacher of meditation or experienced meditator, please send a comment. See if these myths are things you encounter regularly, and or how do you explain this to clients? I'd love to know that as well. But let's just take a moment. And if you're on a cushion, great. On the floor, I'm sitting cross-legged. My hips are elevated a little bit. If you're in a chair at a desk, that's fine. In your bed, in this time of social isolation that we're in, wherever you happen to be, it's fine, to the extent that you can take a posture which is alert but relaxed. So kind of lengthen your spine, pull up through the crown chakra, the top of your head. If you're in a chair, you can have both feet on the floor, is very grounding. A little bit up on your sits bones. So take a stance that honors the activity. We are honoring your willingness to do this exploration, which is not easy, but is incredibly heart-opening and meaningful. So honor yourself, honor your position, and then you can sort of just kind of get your arms into a relaxed position so your shoulders are down. I'm wearing scarves. It's a little cold in my house today. So you can't really see, but you want to have your shoulders be dropped, relaxed. Hands can be just flat on your knees. Lowering your gaze to just a few feet ahead of you. And I know many people have learned meditation with eyes closed, so just bear with me on this one. To have your eyes open just a few feet in front of you, a soft gaze. You're not like studying the floor or the carpet pattern, but you see things, right? And the reason we have our eyes open is that with mindfulness meditation, we are opening to everything that is. All of our senses are open. And if your eyes are slightly open, you see. Your ears are always open unless you're plugging them. You'll hear noise. If a smell wafts by, you'll smell. And all of that is incorporated. So let's just sort of take a moment. And I know another thing that I have heard is that focusing on the breath is difficult for people. So particularly if people have had experiences of panic attacks, it can actually make them more anxious to start thinking about their breath. But we're not trying to think about it. We're not trying to analyze it. You don't have to shift it. You don't have to make it particularly deep. Just bring your mind to the fact that your body is breathing, whatever that means to you. So just take a moment, lowered gaze, and just notice your body breathing. And as you do this, you might notice your heart rate. You might notice whether you're feeling warm or cold, or a little bit of a pain here or there. Just notice and just bring your attention, your concentration, as much as you can to your breath. And sometimes I like to say 50% on your breath and 50% on what you hear. That can be sort of very grounding. Or it could be 50% on what you're feeling in your body. But just take a moment to be completely present. And as you do this, you will notice judgment mind. Judgment mind will be hopping in. I'm too hot. I'm too cold. I'm not doing this right. This is too slow for me. I wish you would speed up. I don't like that noise I'm hearing in the background. Judgment mind is always there. So the same way that when your eyes are open, you see, actually, even when your eyes are closed, you see, if I close my eyes right now, I see different colors. Our eyes see, our ears hear, our minds think. Your mind's going to think. And so not attaching to the thoughts is it's kind of more of a guideline than not having any thoughts, because you will always have thoughts. So to the extent that you can notice your thinking, bring your mind back to the breath. Notice your thinking, bring your mind back to the breath. If you get caught, I'm going to do 7 minutes, I think, of silence for us to meditate. And I just want you to observe. I want you to observe as closely as you can what's happening and bring your attention to the breath. And just bring your attention to the breath. And then if you get lost in some thoughts and in a story, and you might be thousands of miles away, either in time or space or both, the second you wake up, bring your mind back to the breath. And just keep bringing your mind back to your body breathing. Bring your mind back to your body breathing. And every time you have one of those moments, that's a moment of mindful awareness. And that's fine. So you are going to drift away, and then you're going to come back. So just with those simple instructions, I am going to set my timer. 7 is one of my favorite numbers, so I'm just more comfortable with that than 8 or 6. There's no magic to 7. So I will ring the gong. And of course, when you're meditating, it's nice to have a real cushion and a gong and all that, but it is completely not necessary. And there are plenty of apps which can give you a gong and can time for you. So you don't have to worry about any of that. And so for right now, just lowered gaze. Notice your body breathing. Your posture is alert but relaxed. And the practice is to just bring as much concentration to your breath. And as your thoughts wander, bring it back to the breath. So let me know how that was for you. I see most of you hung through with that, which is great. A couple of people, I think, dropped off, which is fine as well. Hopefully they'll come back to it. But let me know, did that 7 minutes go very fast? Did it seem really slow? What was your experience of that 7 minutes? And what did you notice? What did you notice in terms of how you felt and in terms of what you were observing? So let me know how that felt. Joanne, great. Thank you for letting me know who you are. I felt calm, more focused, centered, relaxed, and also now very energized to start my day. Love meditating. Awesome. I'm so happy you felt that way. That's great. That does not have to be everybody's experience. I'm just letting you know. Some people might feel like, wow, that time just flew by because you were lost in thought. Other people might feel like, wow, that felt like a long time. And I will share with you that when I started meditating, time slowed down for me, which was an awesome, unanticipated side effect. Didn't happen right away, right? Most of this doesn't happen right away. It takes some time. Let's see, I'll see who else, if anybody else is willing to share what that experience was like for them, let me know. But yeah, so time slowing down. And I find when I'm meditating a lot, if I have a very regular, longer extended practice, I will find that time expands, which is just a wonderful thing to happen in this day and age, because most of us feel like time just zips by. So let's see. I appreciated knowing that it's normal to have an active mind, but I was able to bring it back to my breath. It did seem like more than 7 minutes. Yeah. So that could seem like a long time, but that was 7 minutes. And yes, the thinking is normal. The thinking is normal. Having thoughts is normal. Losing it, going into a fantasy world is normal. For those of us who've been meditating for a long time, it still happens to us, right? After 27 years, there still are times I'll sit on a cushion and then all of a sudden, sometime through my meditation period, I'll be like, oh, here I am, back to the present. And I will have been off reviewing something that happened in the past or projecting into the future. I tend to go to the future more. Sometimes very pleasant fantasies, sometimes very pleasant sort of projections, sometimes more anxious ones, right? We have all of it. We're human. We have all of this. So someone's sharing, I'm used to closing my eyes. This was different. Hard to not close my eyes. Felt good though. Very aware of pain in my leg, but good. Yeah. So that's another reason meditation doesn't always feel good, is that our bodies are not used to sitting, particularly on the floor, and they're not used to sitting still. And again, when we are quiet, when our minds are quiet, we're much more aware of every ache and pain. So sometimes with aches and pains, just see if you can observe it. Just observe it and not add on the level of thinking. And if you need to shift your leg, you can shift your leg. That's fine as well. Stefania, in and out continuously, weird. Lots of thoughts going everywhere. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what mindfulness meditation is. And over time, you become more aware of your habitual patterns, and then you can begin to create space in those habitual patterns. So it could be like, oh, I'm thinking about that thing again, or I'm thinking worried about this one topic, and that's just coming back, or there's a particular theme or whatever, and it's just awareness. There's a term for mindfulness meditation called shamatha, which is peaceful abiding, to peacefully be with yourself no matter what you're going through. So I am hoping that that was helpful. I'd love to see some more comments, but just to review, to recap, the 3 myths that I think get in the way of our being able to have regular practices are: we think meditation is going to feel good. And hopefully sometimes it will. Like Joanne shared for her today, it felt good, right? For other people, there'll be a lot of physical pain. Your minds might race. You just keep coming back. There needs to be an element of faith that I've read enough scientific evidence here, or I've seen changes in people around me, or somehow I just know that this is something I need to do. I'm just willing to explore myself. So some faith to get you through the fact that meditation doesn't always feel good. the thought that you should be able to calm your mind, you should be able to calm down. We're moving away from shoulds. As much as we can, we're moving away from shoulds, and you won't always feel calm. Hopefully, with meditation, over time, you'll achieve more calm, but you won't always feel calm. And the myth that your thoughts will slow down or that you'll be able to concentrate completely on your breath, or even 50%, it's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be intermittent. Concentrate on breath, off on thought, come back to the breath, off on thought, come back to the breath. That can happen 80 times in a 7-minute sit. So to know that what you're experiencing is normal, to have a group, like this could be a group, the Facebook group, if you're a YouTube user, I'll post below the link to our Facebook group if you want to join us. But utilizing a group, having other people you know who meditate, where you can ask questions, where you can say, I experienced this weird body sensation. What was that about? Or, my thoughts just keep going and going and going. So I think there's something wrong with me. That extra level of I think there's something wrong with me is the additional cognition that's making the sitting more painful. And then instead of saying I can't meditate or meditation doesn't work for me, rephrasing that as I don't like the feelings that come up when I meditate. Okay, we can work with that. Or when I meditate, I'm extremely aware of how my thoughts race and I don't like that. Okay, we can work with that too. Neither of those means meditation doesn't work. So I hope this has been helpful. I would love to see everybody try, if you're new to it, try 10 minutes a day for the next week and see what happens. And just set your timer, just sit, return your attention to the breath, return it to the breath, return it to the breath, and just give it a try. And then check in, post in the group, post below this video, let me know how it goes. All righty, take care everybody. Thank you for joining me today. And Stefania is sharing that she thought she was doing it wrong and she stopped for that. Nope, my mind still wanders after this many years. So there are benefits and it will help over time. I don't want to make it sound like it's all horrible, but it does take a lot of practice, and it's really, really strengthening that wise mind observer who just becomes more and more aware of how quickly you go to judgment, how quickly you go to habitual patterns of thinking, and just accepting yourself and coming back and accepting this moment more and more. This moment, what's actually happening right now. Ciao. Bye, everybody.